This is Meteorologist Matthew East, and this is the Carolina weather video for the 5th day of November here on this Wednesday. A lot to talk about, including maybe some tropical mischief brewing. I'll talk about that here toward the end of this video. Stay tuned. In terms of our weather, across the Carolinas, really a foul stretch of weather continuing yesterday, and that'll continue today for the coastal parts of the Carolinas, especially the Outer Banks. That area has just been buffeted by very heavy rain, 5 to 6 inches of rain, some spots more than that, and then it keeps piling up today, as well as very windy conditions. Feels like a tropical system over there for those folks on the Outer Banks, and that's all due to this area of low pressure that's been developing along and just off of the coast, and that's really been driving the northeasterly winds and the surf, as well as the very heavy rain there into the Outer Banks. So really foul weather there, but as that low pressure pulls away, we're going to see sort of high pressure trying to push back into the western portions of the Carolinas, including the Piedmont regions, and I think with time some sunshine tries to work in this afternoon. There's your temperature pattern this morning, and what's going on is you have a clear sky condition back off west of the mountains. That's allowed for a cooler temperature pattern this morning than what we're seeing. And we'll be back into the 40s tonight, as we'll have a generally clear sky in place tonight. Then you get into a big push of warmer air back in the plain states ahead of a cold front that's slowly advancing off to the east and in our direction. Behind that, big surge of cooler air, and that's going to move back in here this weekend. So those are the main weather players on the board. Our attention will gradually shift away from this low on the coast and more to what's going on here in the western part of the country. All right, here's the 500 millibar chart. Valid 1 o'clock this afternoon. Still have that cutoff low pulling away from the Carolinas. And I notice a very well-defined trough back over the Rocky Mountain region. Some snow with that in the Rockies, by the way. And here we are as we go into the day for tomorrow. This low pressure pulling away. It'll be a good-looking day around here tomorrow. Some ridging at 500 millibars moving overhead briefly. And then we have this trough moving in, so that by the weekend that trough is settled back in. This is Saturday at 1 p.m. The trough overhead, some cooler weather pushing back in. So let's take this day by day here. Here we are on today, Wednesday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That low pressure ramping up, moving up the coast there. That means some sunshine trying to work on in here from the west as today unfolds. And if we don't get sunshine today everywhere, don't worry. We're going to get it tomorrow. Beautiful looking day. We'll be back in the 70s for highs tomorrow afternoon. And this is tomorrow afternoon. This is Friday afternoon. Your cold front approaching the mountains. Whoop, drew that a little incorrectly there. There's your cold front approaching the mountains Friday afternoon. We should squeeze in a dry day Friday, but Friday night as the front swings through, we could see a few showers. Looks like most of the dynamics will be way off to our north, but a few showers possible Friday night with that frontal passage. And then here we are Saturday. The front pushing on through. We'll see a lot of sunshine building in, especially by Saturday afternoon as that cooler air flows in. And by Sunday, upper 50s to lower 60s for highs with a lot of sunshine on the way. And I think Monday morning we're probably back down into the 30s for low temperatures again. Now, here we are on Monday afternoon. Looks like we're going to get into a fairly active storm track as we get into next week and beyond, as we'll have several storm systems begin to line up to affect our area. Monday should be dry, but cloud cover will be on the increase as this next low pressure begins to take strength off to our, gather strength rather off to our west, and we have sort of a wedge setting up. Cold air draining down the eastern side of the mountains. We'll see those high clouds fanning out ahead of that system, so clouds probably increasing on Monday. And then eventually later Tuesday or Wednesday, that system pulls through and brings us some rain chances. So probably some showers Tuesday or Wednesday with the storm system. And then at the end of next week, this is all the way out at Friday evening, the 14th of November, a deep upper air trough over the southern plain states that's lifting northeastward. The result at the surface here is an area of low pressure in western parts of Illinois, and that almost looks like a severe weather setup across the southeast. In fact, it does look like a severe weather setup across Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and Mississippi. We'd have to see if the unstable air made it up into our area. Now, that's on the GFS. The European, somewhat in agreement, at least a well-defined trough swinging in the same time period. So it looks like one storm system next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, another one Friday or Saturday to end the week. The stronger one probably the Friday to Saturday system. And we'll see how that unfolds. Now, in the tropics, our little tropical disturbance here in the Caribbean Sea getting better organized. Some nice curvature banding here on the satellite imagery, showing this thing is trying to get a little stronger. Would not shock me at all if we saw this become a tropical depression today or tomorrow. And most computer models do continue to strengthen this. This is the Hurricane Wharf model. Now this is valid out on, let's see, this would be Sunday morning at 7 a.m. And I noticed the pressure way down at 926 millibars. That's a strong hurricane, maybe even getting close to major hurricane status there, depending on the wind speeds, of course. And that moves toward Cuba. All the computer model guidance here in general agreement that this is going to continue to meander for a couple more days before eventually bending off northeastward. But the tricky part of this forecast is that trough that's swinging into the eastern part of the country. Will it pick up this system this weekend, or will it leave it behind? I'm sort of getting the idea it may leave it behind, and this might meander around the Caribbean Sea some early next week. So we'll just have to see how that all unfolds. But I think there's a pretty good chance this becomes a tropical system, at least some sort of a low pressure area developing, probably becoming a tropical system at some point over the next few days. We'll see how that all unfolds. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks so much for watching. Everyone have a great Wednesday, and God bless.